So let's talk about summarizing the findings. This is what we've been talking about all quarter. This class is about finding relationships between variables and evaluating those claims, and a relationship between a variable, that's saying whether they're related and summarizing the findings. There are 3 different ways that we're going to talk about summarizing the findings. You'll recognize them. We've already discussed them. I know we haven't practiced having you write them very much, but you have seen those in class. So the first way we can talk about summarizing findings is to summarize an overall relationship. We've been talking about positive relationships, negative relationships, curvilinear relationships, no relationships, and this is what we're talking about here, where we say, can you summarize the overall relationship? Variable x and variable y share a and this could be a positive relationship, or it could be a negative relationship. Let's use the example of, I wonder if hours studied predicts your exam grade. How would this look? Our predictor variable goes here. So the hours that you've studied increasing. Your exam grade, your outcome variable goes on the y-axis. And we would see each individual participant as a data point and be able to draw that line of best fit. And in this case, we're describing a positive relationship, that hours studied and exam grade share a positive relationship. As the number of hours increases, so does the exam grade. So that's one way of summarizing our findings, of describing our relationship. There are 2 other ways. Let's skip to number 3 on the tips. And that's compare group averages. We've seen this in class. We've been looking at comparing group averages, where we've got 2 or more groups, and we're going to see their average performance. So for this example, this same example, we could say, do students who study less than 5 hours for an exam and students who study more than 5 hours for an exam differ in their exam performance? And so this time we've got the study group with the less than 5 hours and the more than 5 hours, and then their exam grade. And this time it's going to be the average grade. And we would expect to see a difference between the groups, or we'd be asking if there was a difference between the groups to see if the group that studied more performed better on the exam than the group that studied less. Let's see if we can figure out when we would talk about overall relationships and when we would talk about comparing group averages. It all has to do with whether your predictor variable was measured continuously or categorically. So if we've got our predictor variable and our outcome variable, in this case, the overall relationship, our predictor variable, is measured continuously. In this case, when we're comparing group averages, we've got 2 groups, we've got categories. Our predictor variable was measured categorically. What about our outcome variable? Let's see. Grade on the exam, that's continuous. Average grade, that's continuous. The third option is going to fit between these where we've got, what if we have a categorical predictor variable and a categorical outcome variable? In that case, we don't have this average grade. We've just got group frequencies. So let's put that here, where we could say we compared group frequencies. So if we said we've got the students who studied less than 5 hours and the students who studied more than 5 hours as our predictor variable, and then whether they scored an A, a B, a C, or a D on that exam. And so we would be counting how many people fall into each of these categories, and then be comparing those frequencies.